Welcome back, traders and investors. We have Anne-Marie Baiynd on the line. She is an author and a financial analyst and has written a book, The Trading Book Course, A Practical Guide to Profiting with Technical Analysis. Anne-Marie, you're in our great state of Michigan now. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm enjoying the weather. I grew up my early years in the South, and it's pretty hot in August down there. So I've been enjoying the Michigan August, though a little muggy. At least it's not 105.
I bet. So we haven't talked to you in a while, and the markets have just, we had that sell off a couple weeks ago, and we've come right back up here to new all time highs. Actually, S&Ps are trading at a new all time high in the pre market session. During that brief break that we had in the S&Ps, did you have any good setups that were able to trigger you into some long trades?
Well, that's great that you asked that. The one thing that we've really been watching is Netflix. And we noticed at about, let's see what that number was. We noticed at about 450 that it was on its way and through a measured move. And we still think it's got about $10 left on it. So we've been enjoying that one for about a week and a few days. And really everything just pulled right back into support. You know, the thing that I always watch is, am I holding my lows reasonably well? If I can come down into my lows, I just spend a little bit of time there, and then the market starts picking it up off that level, even if it meanders to the side. As long as I can see those buyers propped up underneath, I know it's okay to still be in the long. So I'm always looking for that event, and Netflix gave it to us several days before at 440 or so when it came into its 50 simple moving average, and then it began to hold. So that's been a really great setup for us. Another one I tweeted about it is 3D.
Anne-Marie, before you leave the Netflix, could you use the term there, a measured move? So could you please just go over that terminology and the basis for it, and for our listeners that may not be familiar with that term?
Certainly. I apologize for just spluttering that out. I know there are all kinds of things that we should elaborate on. A measured move is something that is based on a prior set of moves. For instance, if you've ever heard the term head and shoulders, a measured move will measure from the top of the head to the edge of a shoulder. And once it breaks out of that neckline, where we have the neckline to the top of the head, that's called a measured move. And so Netflix, it was not an inverted head and shoulders, but it was a Fibonacci, and that measured move took us up into 494. It's really a very nice way for you to look at a chart that has form, meaning that it's making higher lows and higher highs, and it doesn't look like a train wreck or a bunch of pickup sticks. Then from that space you can say, you know what, it moved this far before it pulled back, so I can assume it's going to move that very same amount the next time. We will assume symmetry until symmetry does not hold up. And the way we do that is by marking a 50% line off of any measured move. That's a really great way to give yourself targets and spaces to go up. So if you see something and it says, all right, I pulled back 10 points, that means that I should move up 10 points, but I'm going to look at the 5-point mark to make sure that my premise is still holding. I'll take some profit there, I'll raise my stop up, and so on and so forth. You try to be extremely focused on your risk event, trying to get as much risk off the table as quickly as possible so you can ride things out in relative ease.
Take off some of the profits. And, I know for me, I mean, a lot of times I see the lows forming in an area. I know exactly what you're talking about here at the 450 area. It kind of looks like, if you cover up that part of the chart, it looks like it was breaking down, but actually it was just forming good support and then it broke out. So if you're applying, the theory that you just talked about on Netflix here, to CMG, okay? And I know a lot of people are trying to pick and top in this one. Do you see that same kind of formation that is just holding the lows here and just ready for just another blast off over 700?
I'm just pulling that up. I was looking at that this weekend, and I had written a few notes. And here's the thing. The most important thing to see